Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. Big Friday. There's a lot going on, guys. Even though there's no football, no NBA, no NHL, we got a lot to go over. So, Dan, get on in here. Give us the rundown. We have a huge game in lacrosse tonight that we need to touch on. Who is on the show? What are we talking about today?
Yeah, massive game going on tonight, guys. Syracuse taking on Maryland. Two teams you actually know the name of in lacrosse. We have a best bet coming your way here on the show. What else do we got? As Andy astutely said, sure, football's done, but we have a loaded show here for you to get you ready to go on the hardwood. Also going to talk a little Olympic hockey for you as well. But Gianni the Greek, coming on to kick off the show. We're going to run down what he's seeing across his Steam report, what he has on the Steam sheet for clients. He's going to give you some free info right here, right now. Andy Lang's taking you all around the world. Teddy Covers coming on. And yes, NBA All-Star break is here. What used to be the best All-Star weekend in all of sports, Andy, has certainly changed. But how is Teddy going to bet it? Or is he going to bet it? We'll talk to that, Teddy. Teddy's also got some futures to talk here in MLB, and he's talking Michigan State taking on Wisconsin college basketball. Free play for you. As I alluded to, Carmine Bianco, Switzerland versus Canada, Slovakia versus Sweden. Olympic hockey, best bets coming your way here on the show, Andy. Sure, football's done, man, but we're pumped up, baby. Let's get into it.
All right, let's start with WTF-LFG. We're going to go back to lacrosse. I gave the disclaimer yesterday about lacrosse. You're playing these free plays, very small, if at all. We weren't going to do one today, but number one plays number two. So we have to, and you had people asking you already about this one. So yeah, let's go through this game. Huge game. Where do you lean on this game?
People on Twitter were like, Dan, you have to let us know because you nailed this game. In the college lacrosse semifinals last season, it was Syracuse getting dogged by Maryland, and we loved Maryland in that game. However, Andy, tonight, I think we have a wrong team favored special. We're taking the home dog with the Syracuse Orange. And Andy, I hate to use the due angle, they're due to win. There's a couple reasons why I feel like that actually might be true. The Terps have beaten Syracuse 8 straight times. However, this situation for Syracuse is unlike any other simply because they're getting the end of a 3-game homestand here. So they've already gotten way more games than the Terrapins had. They only played 1 game against Loyola, a game they gave up 10 goals. That's not what we typically have come to expect from this Terrapin defense. And here's something for you, Andy. Shocking that 2 of the most iconic teams in Syracuse and Maryland. It's interesting to me that Syracuse hosting this game tonight, it's only the 4th time going back to 1927 that the schedule has lined up that Syracuse gets to host Maryland in the Carrier Dome. Why does that matter? Because since the Carrier Dome opened in 1981, this Orange team is 280-56, Andy. The home field advantage is legit. And not only do you have revenge for this 8-game run that the Terps have been in, the Terps are also the team who knocked Cuse out of the tournament in the semifinals last year. I think you got revenge, plenty of returning starters, great home field advantage, and a matchup for Syracuse that they're going to have all hands on deck. They don't get to play at home again in 6 straight weeks, Andy. They're going to be away from the Carrier Dome. So this is get everybody out here, all hands on deck. Wrong team's favored. You're still getting around plus 104 on this. I think Syracuse should be the favorite in this game, Andy. Client play for free here. Take Syracuse in lacrosse tonight.
Okay, number 1 versus number 2. We have to give an opinion on that one. Take the opinion for what it's worth. I'm riding with you, Dan, LFG. We do have a 4% lacrosse play that goes off tomorrow. So all access clients, you've gotten that one. That is a client play that we've already bet with our own money. So we're going to do something fun here. We're going to bring in Gianni, and let's bring him in. But in the chat, our good friend RJ, he's been waiting for this day for a long time. RJ is a huge college baseball fan. RJ, give me your best bet for either tomorrow or this weekend. If it hits, somebody is going to get a free 3-day pass. So RJ, longtime listener and very astute college baseball bettor. RJ, give me your best play in the chat, and then we'll do something with the 3-day pass. How's that? Let's do it. Gianni, speaking of hitting bets, how about yesterday? So I give you my gut feeling. I think Utah's going to sit their starters and Portland should cover. You give like a 5-minute power rankings, point spread, and it all comes together for an easy cash, baby. Nice cash yesterday on Portland.
They got the money. That's all that matters, right? At the end of the day. Real quickly, before we jump into what we're going to jump into, just wanted two things I wanted to touch on real fast. First, anyone out there that has mastered or is trying to master CloudBot, reach out. If you got any good ideas, I'm willing to supply capital. I think that's a great idea. And second, I monitor back ends of a couple books, actually 2 big sheets that I have access to. And I just saw a bet came across. I'm not going to say the team because someone that's watching this may have even bet into them. They're that big. So I don't want to call that the particular person out, but here's what they did. And you guys got to stop doing this shit, man. They took a team that was plus 2.5, minus 110, and they placed a big bet. I'm talking, they put up 1,500 to win 1,000 by buying 2 points. So they took this 2.5 point dog up to plus 4.5, and now they're laying minus 150. I got to go through the math with everyone once again, because this is what this smart person's saying. And again, I'm not criticizing. When I say smart, I'm not like trying to be a wise ass. What I'm saying is someone that's betting $1,500 obviously has money. So whatever they're doing in their in their lives is working for them. They have money. If you're firing $1,500 plays and looking at their account, they bet like this all the time. So obviously that they make money, whatever else they do other than sports bet. With that said, when you're buying points and you don't know what they're worth, this is what happens. You buy a team at plus 2.5, minus 110. That means minus 110, the break-even's 52.5%. At minus 150, the break-even's 60%. So what he's saying by placing this bet is that he doesn't think that getting 2.5 points, this team will be able to cover this more than 52.5% of the time. But if given 4.5 points, they will cover more than 60%. So that extra layup will help this team cover the point spread about 10% at a greater than 10% rate than otherwise. How does that make sense to anybody when we know in basketball there's going to be at least 120, even college, 130 points scored? How is that one layup going to make the difference where you're now going to cash that bet more than 60% of the time? But 2 points less, you're not going to do it 53%? That to me, again, is where I don't understand why bettors continue to do this, but I think it just makes them feel better because they think they have a better number. Now he thinks, if it lands one possession, 3 points, I'm better than that. I got 4.5. But nothing could be further from the truth. You don't have 4.5. You have 2.5 heavily juiced is what you have. So again, not to go long. I know there's others waiting to come on. It's Friday, but we're here trying to win more and lose less. And by not buying points ever, unless you know exactly what every half point is worth, you're going to lose less. I promise you. So that's the biggest takeaway. When we're talking college basketball, NBA, do not buy points unless you know exactly what they're worth, because very few are worth what you're paying for it. If the point spread doesn't make sense to you, just leave it alone. Buying points ain't the salvation.
Well, it's because it's the eye test. There's no math involved when you do something like that. When you look at it, you go, 2.5 doesn't look good, but 4.5 looks a lot better. But there's no math involved with it.
College baseball, since I took all that time, I'll give you a 4%. I sent out to subscribers this morning, and the game doesn't go off, I think, for 2 or 3 hours, so you have time. Kansas State laid minus 140, good to about minus 155, 160 over Iowa. So we've done real well with that, with college baseball, with those AAA leagues, kind of like with the hockey, the OHL, the smaller Canadian leagues. We've been dabbling into them lately. So those usually do well. So take a look at Kansas State against Iowa.
All right. I use alt spreads, but only in fringe sports. There's no alt spreads in NBA, some of those other ones. I'll use them in some you're right. You got to be careful with the math on that one. So I have an MLB bet I wanted to go over, but let's do the Steam report here. Let's go over some college basketball. What are you seeing on the hardwood? And I don't know, is there any Olympics? Is there any NBA All-Star, anything that you're seeing? Or
No,
just,
we haven't. I won't be surprised. Historically, we've bet the Olympics. I think the worry is with baseball coming up, we don't want to lose accounts because the Olympic limits are small anyway. Like I can't get down more than 250 through each of my off-screen accounts. So for me to get them down a dime, I got to hit it at 4 different places and hope it doesn't move. That's going to be hard to do with the Olympics where they're not getting much action on the other side. And I think that's the reason. I have like real good accounts. I'm sure they're betting it with like smaller accounts and guys, because they're not going to let go of the opportunity. There's EV spots in the Olympics for sure. But I just think they don't want to risk losing the good accounts with baseball coming up. Because again, baseball is year in, year out for betting syndicates, historically the most profitable sport. Like, again, if you ask any of the betting syndicates that at least I know that I've worked with, wise guys that bet multiple markets, and you tell them you can only bet one market from now on, what would it be? I think again, maybe some specialists may say something like golf or NASCAR, but I think 9 out of 10 would say at a major sports would say Major League Baseball for sure.
All right, what are we seeing in college basketball for today?
All right, small board, small action. That's why there's no Steam sheet today. Again, I'm not going to waste my time. More importantly, I'm not going to waste your time if there's not actionable information. Here's some of the plays that got hit. I haven't released a single bet yet to subscribers in college basketball because I think a lot of these are setups. I'll go over a few. Here's what I'm talking about. 879 Brown plus 8.5. 865 Cornell minus 2.5, 867 Quinnipiac plus the 4, 869 Yale minus the 9, 881 Michigan State minus 1.5, 1 and 1.5. The only one that actually made any sense to me that came close was the Quinnipiac side. They've kind of been undervalued. We've ridden them lately a little bit, but not enough combination fire. Why I think a lot of these are being set up is because we're talking about real small market today. There's no NBA. There's no hockey. Other than Olympics, like you said, which very few are dabbling big money in, there's only this market to bet into right now. That's all that recreational bettors have as well. They're going to start betting, and they're going to bet the teams with the better records, or the team that's coming in hotter, or the team that shouldn't lose. And it's teams like that, like Michigan State, Yale, Cornell. I would not be surprised if later in the day you saw take back against some of those teams, because I power rated Michigan State, Wisconsin, and my numbers have Michigan State I'd make it a pick 'em. Like if I had to pick a favorite, I would say Michigan State should be favored, but I can't even make them a 1-point favorite at Wisconsin. Two very, very close teams. You have a Michigan State team that I know is ranked 10th in the AP. I have them about 18th. And then I know with Wisconsin, I don't think's even ranked, right? Wisconsin's not even ranked, but Wisconsin is in my top 25. Here's why. They have a top 15 offense, 24th toughest strength of schedule. Defense is what's lacking. They're about 45th, but they're going against Michigan State offense that's 44th in efficiency. But it's the Michigan State defense that's top 5. That's their strong suit. They also had a solid strength of schedule, number 22. So 22 versus 24 in strength of schedules, the 44th offense versus the 45th defense, and then the 15th offense versus the 5 defense. So if you like defense, I guess you go Michigan State. If you like offense this time of the season, you go Wisconsin. I look at the power ratings. My power ratings have, like I said, a pick 'em. So right now I could get 3 at minus 120, which would warrant the 0.5 point because I should be paying a little more than that. That would have been a bet for me. But seeing that early move to Michigan State has kept me off. Now, if I conclude that it is being dummied up, then I fire on Wisconsin. Otherwise, I'll see if something else jumps out. Otherwise, we move on to Saturday, where there's a huge, huge board of college basketball. I'm already getting the matchups printed out so I could start power rating each and every game. And that Steam Room's tomorrow, the first Saturday Steam Room of the year. You're going to get a lot of college basketball information, a lot of live betting we'll be doing during the Steam Room, because that's when all the stuff's going to be coming in. And we'll go over, of course, the risk management. Currently, right now, number 2 or number 3 in profit 2026. We're just going to keep grinding, man. So all is good. And I wish everyone else does some damage as well this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And also, Gianni, we would be remiss if we didn't mention Steam Report that's going live, the Steam Room tomorrow with Ace. Obviously, if you're a client of Ace, you're going to get action and you're going to have access to that. If you're not, you can join and become a WagerTalk Insider, wt.buzz/insiders. All insiders here to the YouTube channel will also have access. Gianni going live tomorrow afternoon. And VR, I mean, that's one of the best, one of the great things about being a client for you is the access that you give to your clients. Obviously, the daily Steam sheet is terrific, but this Steam Room where people actually have the opportunity to ask you questions, bounce stuff off, you learn. Sure, the plays are great, but I think you would agree one of your favorite things that you get to do for clients and that insiders get a little bit of a taste of as well is that Steam Room that you do.
And I beg my subscribers to take advantage of it, because that's what I would have wanted. Back when I was coming up and learning the game, I would have wanted to be able to ask questions to my source of information. And I barely had access to that. Like, I was lucky to be in a room surrounded by really sharp guys, and it just rubs off by osmosis, just hanging out in those rooms. But to have the ability to ask, why did we bet this? Or what should we have done if this moved against us? Like, just things like that. And to get an answer, I think, is priceless. And that the reason is I work for you. Like, if my guys are trusting me to partner up for me with 2026, that I'm going to produce a profit for them, something that very hard to do in sports betting. So I owe it to them to be accountable, to come in every week, to go over our last 7-day results, not hide from them, celebrate when we're doing good, but, admit when we're doing bad and go over the plan. So I love having to be accountable to subscribers, and more importantly, keep reminding each other about the risk management that has allowed us to be up what we're up. Again, if you're doing this for profit, be in there on Saturday. You'll understand why. As a bonus, as for a subscriber, automatic. Don't miss that hour, 90 minutes we're going to spend tomorrow. If you can be there, trust me, you're going to get a lot out of it every single week.
All right, Gianni, before you go, I'm running a baseball it's a future that I wanted to run by you and Teddy. And if both of you agree, I think I might have to client play this one. So I went in and I'm looking at season win totals, and I see most regular season wins by any team, 104.5. Over or under? I like the under.
I'm so glad. That's so crazy you asked this question. A subscriber asked me, dude, when are you sending out your baseball futures? I'm thinking it's a little bit early, but let me reach out to my guy that does my Major League Baseball futures, the projections for season wins. And I asked him, he's like, bro, I worked on them. I have them ready already. You want them? I said, yeah, send them out. And I swear to you, I'm looking at them right now. And the only team that's even close is Los Angeles, where he has them winning 104 games. No one else, though. No one else is even higher than 94. So the next team is 10 games below that. Dude, LA gets a starting pitcher injured or anything like that, his simulation could drop 5, 4, 6, 10 games within the first month or two. You know what I mean? I would bet under till I ran out of money compared to betting the over. No way. We already talked about it. We talked about it last year going into the season about what the average Major League Baseball winning percentage is. It's always around 55% for the first place team. You'll get that 60+ outlier year in, year out, but those are rare. I would definitely bet under 104.5. That's a lot of, you got to win. That's 64.5% right there, almost 65%. Yeah, that's going to be hard to do. Hard to do.
That was my thought. It was only minus 105 on DK.
Oh,
so
it's not juiced.
No.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
It's
I would lay 150. I'd lay 150 on that, bro.
All right. We got Yanni's input on that one. Yanni, what do you have up for everyone at WagerTalk? I know no Steam sheet at this point.
Yeah, right now, that's it. You could only join me for the whole weekend, the week, the month, or the year. Unless I could put a package up together, a little 2-pack, 1-pack, 3-pack, but I'm not forcing nothing. We are sitting good, already up over 50+ units. And tomorrow, like I said, it's a huge Saturday card that I already am starting to work on. So that will be up. We'll have a package for Saturday. Steam sheet will be up there for Saturday as well, because so much that just miss will be in there and a lot of those extra board games, and also the Steam room tomorrow as well. So yeah, if you don't see the package today, join me tomorrow. We'll be doing some damage. But yeah, thanks to everyone who's been on for 2026. So far, so good. Let's keep grinding.
All right, Yanni. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good weekend. Dan, we had a great day in darts yesterday. We hit our play on WagerTalk, our play on Sports Memo. We hit our free play on the show, and the live show swept the board. So it was incredible. And a little birdie told me our first 5% darts play is going up this afternoon. Yeah. So excited about that. Don't get it today. Get it tomorrow, because you can get that 6 days for the price of 3. And the 5% darts play is included in that one. So that'll go up today, but don't get that one. Get that one tomorrow. So let's talk Sports Memo. We kind of know what's going on at Sports Memo now. So let's give him the rundown here, Dan. What is Sports Memo now, and how can people take advantage of what we got?
Yeah, I mean, this is a no-brainer, man. So the way that they've kind of revamped the site, the sister site, as we like to call it over there at Sports Memo, and you've been seeing it here on the scroll all show long, is everything $7. I mean, you see all these names that you know and love: Ben Burns, Tokyo Brandon, Andy over there, Rob Vinceletti, all these names that you're seeing, guys. You head over there, $7. That's all it takes to try out a handicapper here. And as you've seen it scrolling, the quick way to get there, sm.buzz/picks. And this, Andy, it's not a one-time promotion. It's not this is what you're going to get over at sportsmemo.com here moving forward. And it's $7 to see how these cappers are. And this is folks who are here on WagerTalk. This is a great marketplace with names that maybe you don't recognize it much, but maybe it's sports that you want action in. And all the entry cost is, Andy, to see how somebody handicaps, get a full write-up and their best bet, $7. You know how popular our $5 Tuesday is week after week after week. Great low price point. If it's something that you've never tried before, guys, it's a way to dip your toe in there. And if you're worried about, hey, how is this going to work out? You also see on the screen here, $11 is how you can guarantee the pick. What does that mean? If the pick loses, you're getting credit back that you can try somebody else out. So, Andy, I love this idea that they're doing over at Sports Memo to kind of revamp what they're doing over there. $7, and you see all the options that you have, Andy. I think it's a great way to get some new eyes over there at Sports Memo. And for folks who watch the show every day and you want to give one of your guys props, you love Teddy's breakdowns, but you can't jump in for a whole entire thing. Go try out a $7 play that he might have loaded for you, folks. I think this is a terrific new venture over at sportsmemo.com, and hopefully people enjoy it as much as we're excited for it.
Yeah, I'll give you my PGA round 2 here in a little bit, so you don't need to go get that one. But yeah, excited about that one. It's a great idea, and you guys give us suggestions, and we listen. We're willing to try anything else.
Yep.
All right, let's bring in Teddy Covers. We're going to talk some basketball. We're going to talk some baseball. What is up, Teddy? How are you?
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Happy All-Star break.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice. It's
quiet around here.
I mean, man. This is literally the first time that I've had a chance to breathe since August. So I got no complaints. One thing about this job that it's very people are, I want to be a sports bettor. I want to be a sports bettor. It's a great job, except that you never get days off.
Yep.
7 days a week, 360 plus days a year. So when you get a little break there, like the All-Star break, say, yeah, I'm going to exhale a little bit. That's okay. And it's important to note you know, it's okay not to have 50 bets every day. You know, if you're jonesing for action, that may be an indicator that, you know, maybe you need to tap the brakes a little bit. So, you know, we bet a lot on the days that we're not betting a million games. If we need that action, it could be something to pay attention to.
Well, let's break down college basketball, and then we'll talk a little MLB season win totals as well as some second half NBA teams. So let's do college basketball first. We got Michigan State versus Wisconsin. How do you see this game going?
Yeah, so looking right now at my Odds Logic live odds screen. And by the way, guys, get a free trial. Odds Logic is cool, and it works. And if you haven't tried it, just free. 7-day all access. oddslogic.com/Teddy. Free live odds product.
Teddy, can I jump in just real quick about Odds Logic? I found something today that I can't find on hardly any other places. You can go back and look at spreads from weeks ago.
Archive. It's archived. It's not just weeks, months, years. Yeah.
Like that is one of the most powerful things because I was like, I wonder what they were like a week ago. And you can go back and look just with the click of a button. So it's not just live odds. It's a powerful, powerful tool.
And when you see someone else deciding what they thought the point spread was for that game 3 months ago, you can go back and check and say, no, it was 7 over there, but it was 6.5 over here, and it was 7.5 over there. You can see the nuances of it. And you know me, I'm a nuance guy for sure. But anyhow, oddslogic.com/Teddy. Check it out. A free 7-day trial. The Odds Logic live odds screen right now says Michigan State -2.5, total 147.5. And I want to talk about the core concepts for college hoops in February. I got 4 core concepts. 1, home court means less and less as the season goes along. In November, December, even January, the freshmen are freshmen, kids struggle in environments. But at this stage of the season, every team's played 6, 8, 10 games in hostile environments already. The freshmen have grown up a little bit. So in general, in February, I look to back road teams. I think home court advantage is less than what it was. Number 2, in terms of core concepts, anything you did in November and December is completely irrelevant for making money right now, good or bad. November and December results when a team had a great tournament somewhere, that might show what a team is capable of, but has nothing to do with how they're playing right now. It's worth noting, though, those early season results are most assuredly still affecting the numbers at Ken Palm, the point spread that you're going to get. But I devalue November and December results in February. I devalue them a lot. Third core concept, and this comes in conference play when we talk about revenge. You have to differentiate between a revenge situation or a situation where one team is just better and they're going to beat them both times. I do like it when the notably inferior team pulled an upset in the first meeting. Now the superior team is primed to get their payback. But these revenge spots versus the one team is just better spots, that's one of the nuances we pay a lot of attention to in February. And last but not least, this is one more concept worth mentioning because it's the key to my handicap here for Michigan State, Wisconsin. Rest, recuperation matters. How banged up are you? So Sparty played last Saturday at Illinois, and they won a hard-fought, tough battle, and they've been off since Saturday. Wisconsin played last Saturday, too, at Indiana, and they lost an overtime heartbreaker, brutal loss. But the Badgers also played Tuesday in Champaign. This is a rare scenario where both teams just faced and just beat the same opponent. And Wisconsin, after the overtime game in Indiana, played an overtime game in Illinois, and they won that game. 2 of the hardest fought games you'll ever see. Now they're playing on short rest, returning home off a satisfying win. We like Greg Gard, all right? We like the team. He brought in 4 seniors in the transfer portal this past offseason. They have a pure point guard in Nick Boyd. It was a great scorer. John Blackwell can fill up the hoop. But from a rest and recuperation perspective, it's not close here. One team's gassed. That's the home dog. One team, maybe a little bit more pep in their step. I think that matters. And given the circumstances and that situation, for me, Michigan State or pass. Even though the Badgers are 3-1 straight up the last 4 meetings, they knocked Sparty out of the Big Ten tournament last time out. Michigan State has won twice on their last 3 trips to Madison. They win here. They're the fresher team. I think they cover the number. Michigan State minus the 2.5 for this better.
All right, we're on NBA All-Star break here, but we always like to look ahead here. What do we expect second half of the season? So what are some teams we're looking to try and bet on, maybe to fade? Obviously, the big talk right now is what do you do with these tanking teams? We talked, at length about Portland against Utah, and that game went exactly how you thought it was going to. Utah winning at half, blown out in the second half. So what do you look at in the second half? Because this is Teddy Covers territory. Once we come out of the All-Star break, buckle up. If I'm recommending anybody, it's Teddy Covers and second half NBA.
Yeah, I love the back half of the back stretch. And it's really, we call it second half, but it's really the final third of the season because the season's already, 50 plus games in right now. But we talk about the concepts for second half NBA. First and foremost, be open to change. Be open to believing what you're seeing. All right. And we talk about believing what you're seeing. Who are the biggest moneymakers the first half of the season? Phoenix Suns, Charlotte Hornets, 1 and 2 in ATS rankings. And they've been there all year, the two best point spread teams in the league. And those are two teams that came in modest expectations at best. If you watch them, all you have to watch. Wow, Phoenix is better than they thought they were. Boom, let's pump up the power ratings. Let's bet on Phoenix right now. The markets haven't gone up. Charlotte, similar story. So we talk about the back half of the season. There's two teams that I brought that I decided to mention here. And they're both in the same state, interesting enough. Let's talk about Miami. Miami's an interesting team to consider. They're an afterthought in the betting markets. They've been injured all year. Hero's been hurt. Powell's been hurt. Bam Bam's been hurt. Wiggins been out of the lineups. Eric Spoelstra is as good as it gets when it comes to coaches. Miami is an organization that's an elite organization. They're getting healthier. They're quietly playing defense. Miami number 2 in defensive efficiency over the last 10 years. Only the Knicks have been better. And they're the third best point spread team in the NBA full season right now. You could ask 50 NBA bettors. I'll bet you that not 2 of them would give you Miami as the third best point spread team so far this year. They still offer value, and I think they get better down the stretch. Miami's a team I've got my eye on coming out of the All-Star break. And Orlando is another one. I talked about two teams from the same state. The Magic are an interesting team to consider. The pieces haven't fully meshed all year. Both Wagners have been in and out of the lineup. Now they're both back after the All-Star break. Jalen Suggs missed 20-plus games at the point. Now he's healthy. Desmond Bane and Anthony Black have had issues on the court with one another. They're finding some shooting rhythm. Paolo's an all-star. Mosley can coach. Orlando is the opposite of Miami. When you look at the first half results, they've been significant money losers. I think they're ranked 29th in the NBA in ATS success through out of 30 teams through the first half of the season. The Magic have potential to be moneymakers in late February, March, and beyond.
Do you focus on the teams that are tanking? Like I saw an opportunity with Utah last night, but you got to believe these point spreads are going to get out of control sooner rather than later.
So Sacramento's been tanking for the last 2 months, and if you've bet nothing but bet against the Kings, all you've done is make money. The markets struggle to correctly price the tanking teams, but the time to take advantage is earlier, not later. You know what I mean? Once you get post All-Star break, everyone writes about how many articles have been in the NBA about tanking and fixing the draft lottery. I mean, that's all we've read all week is that it's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. The time to make money with this stuff is oftentimes before it gets written about. But I have no hesitation. If a team doesn't want to win, let's bet against them. Let's bet against. Look at the Nets and the Pacers. The last game I killed me because I had Indiana the night before, and I didn't play them, and I should have played them. But I'm like, Nets can't be laying 6.5 to anyone. Doesn't matter. When you find these spots with teams that they're not interested in winning, let alone winning by margin, betting against some of the bottom feeders as chalk because they're facing another awful team sometimes can work out in your favor.
Can I just saw the NBA fined the Pacers? Like, give me a break. We were just in the finals. We lost our best player. Half our team was hurt before the season started, and now they're fining us. Give me a break. And by the way,
it's a scenario where guys weren't playing when they weren't on the injury report, or guys getting pulled when they weren't hurt. And the league is right. I don't blame the NBA for doing that. You want competitive games. All right. There may be some solution for the tanking issue. The league hasn't found it yet, and the owners haven't accepted it yet. So in the meantime, it doesn't look. I don't care about the product. I really don't. Love it, hate it, doesn't matter. I'm trying to make money off it. And
Yeah.
if we can make money off tanking teams, leave them tanking. Fine with me.
It's like it's already the season from hell. Now we're getting fined. The Pacers have been a good soldier for the NBA over the course of the years here. And Teddy, by the way, the Kings have been tanking for 10 years.
They haven't been tanking for 10 years. That's why they are where they are.
I'm sorry, you're right. They've been
Fair
incompetent
point.
for.
There's a difference between tanking and just ass. You know.
I want to run this MLB play by you because you said, "Hey, let's talk some MLB wins." So I had absolutely no thoughts of like picking my own play, and then I log in and I see over under wins at 104.5, and I'm looking at last year's. I don't know how much you can take away from last year's stats. We weren't even close to this. Under 104.5 is minus 105. I really like the under. What are your thoughts?
So I'm not as bullish as Gianni was on it. All right. I'm really not. It's the last time a team won 105 or more games was 2022. Two teams. The Astros got to 106. Dodgers got to 111. All right. And when we look at MLB this year, there's probably 6 teams that are better than everyone. You have the Dodgers and Mets. You have the Cubs, Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox. So there are contenders to get to 105 wins or more. Let's start with that. Second, the bigger issue might well be how bad are the bad teams, not about how good are the good teams. People talk about the Dodgers. What happened with the Dodgers last year? And the Dodgers didn't get there. They finished under by double digits. The Dodgers had so many injuries. The Dodgers had a pitching staff that literally had no one healthy all year. But it came down to September. And when we're talking about going over 104, 105 wins, it comes down to competition. All right. If you're sitting there with a 15-game lead in your division and you've got home field wrapped up, you're going to see the elite teams, whether it's the Mets, the Dodgers, the Cubs, whoever, they're going to play more likely to play 500 baseball in September, and that'll keep them under the total. But if there's competition, like there's likely to be, say, in the AL East, which has 3 really good teams, and you got to stack up these wins, you may not get those 500 level Septembers, and you may see teams being forced to continue to play at full steam down the stretch, which makes me a little nervous about taking the under. I mean, if I had a free bet, I'm playing the under. I'm with you, Andy. No question. But is this something that I want to lock my money up with all year, all season, because I think it's a really positive expectation bet? No.
Yeah, it is. It's a long time to hold a season bet. And MLB futures are forever, man.
I'm a big fan of the futures. I'm a big fan of the over-under win totals. And if you talk about, hey, I get to double my money in 7 months or 6 months, whatever it is, any investment strategy is phenomenal. We have no problems with the concept of this is a good bet. Let's make it, especially when there's only 2 outcomes, yes or no, over or under. It's not like there's 56 outcomes that are going to come out of this process. But this, to me, feels more like a coin flip than a positive expectation.
All right. It's fair enough. Love the opinion, love the thoughts. That's why we bring it in here to bounce it off everyone. Any other season win totals kind of tickling your fancy right now? Just kind of surprise first glance.
So, we're still digging in right now. I'm not going to lie. And I talk about the elite teams. The Cubs, Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox spending money. Obviously, the Dodgers and Mets spending money. The good teams. You have the bad teams, the Rockies, the Angels, the Pirates, the Marlins are not spending any money. But most of baseball is in between. Teams that are going to, between 74 and 86 games, more than half the league is likely to finish in that mediocre range. So what do I look for? I'm looking for mediocre teams that are actually bad or mediocre teams that are actually pretty good. Last year we made money with the A's. The A's were supposed to be bad, but they were mediocre. I made money with the Brewers last year. They were supposed to be mediocre, but they were good. I made money fading the Rays. The Rays were supposed to be, and the Mets. Mets were supposed to be good, but they were only mediocre. Rays were supposed to be mediocre, but they were pretty bad. So what you're looking for teams that are like one click off from where where the market's priced them to be. But certainly, you talk about some initial leans. I think the Cubs are going to be there in the NL. I'm not an Astros believer this year. Astros under 86.5 certainly stands out. And I'm not going to call the Angels this year's Rockies, but under 70.5 has piqued my interest pretty strongly.
The Rockies 43 and 119. I've just had this thought. It's like, can we just identify the horrific team and just money line against them like the whole season? I don't know what the math is, but my God, 43 and 119 last year. I would think you'd come out ahead.
Yeah, so you don't even do it all season because the baseball's not all season. It's who do we bet against this week and who do we bet against next week? And when you find a bad team that's awful early, what they start? They started 10 and 40 last year or something. I mean, the Angels have that potential. They do.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're going to dive into MLB a lot more. So, Teddy, what do you have up for everyone for this weekend?
So, NBA's on All-Star break. So, we're in college hoops today. A single best bet in college hoops, a game involving my hometown UNLV running the Rebels. They travel to Boise tonight. Get my best bet right now, WT.buzz/TC. But honestly, don't buy a play. Don't buy a play. If you want to get on board, get a package. Great deal right now. You can use it for my NBA season, or you can use it for NBA and college. Full season, all the way through the finals, all the way through March Madness. Use promo code BBALL100. Again, BBALL100. Take $100 off. Either full season NBA or full season NBA college hoops. And by the way, March Madness, last 2 years, more than 50 units of profit. I like college basketball in the month of March. We all do. And of course, NBA down the stretch has been my mainstay. So check it out. Again, WT.buzz. Get on board with this offer. Take $100 off. Promo code BBALL100. Thanks for watching.
Great segment, Teddy. Thank you so much, man. Absolutely crushed. I sent Dan a DM. I said, Teddy's crushing. Like, this is Teddy at his best, man. Thank you so much, Teddy. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. Get a nap. Enjoy the time off because we got work to do when NBA starts up.
We sure do. It doesn't last long, but I'll take a day. It's my anniversary, so I gotta take the wife out for fun. Yeah, so
enjoy.
Beautiful. Have a great weekend, Teddy.
11 years I've done this shit. Cheers, guys.
or should we say 11 years Kara's done this shit? I mean, it's you could look at it either way, Teddy, but congrats to you guys. That's awesome, man. Have a great time.
Yeah. Are you still up watching the Utah Jazz?
Come to bed. I got the late night bailout special on. Sorry. I'll be come on.
The Lakers backups are in. We got to do all around the world right now because we have a golf play coming up. So let's do that real quick here. This is the one that starts in, if you're watching this live, about 20 minutes. Tommy Fleetwood over Robert McIntyre on DraftKings. I won't bore you with golf stats on a Friday, but basically Robert McIntyre was pretty bad yesterday. It was awful putting, was not hitting greens in regulation. Tommy Fleetwood, I was worried about this week, but he shot -5 yesterday. Number one in strokes gained off the tee. His putting was but Tommy Fleetwood, I like him at a -124 against Robert McIntyre. This is in round 2 of Pebble Beach. Someone asked about the Daytona 500. This race is going to be rained out because NASCAR can't catch a break, and they hype up the Daytona 500, and it's just like 100% going to rain. So they're probably going to race this on Monday. You don't want to bet too much on this, but a little sprinkle I like at +190 is Ford to win. You're getting these Penske cars. Blaney and Logano put on a show at the duels yesterday. William Byron in a Chevy has won this 3 years in a row. But Ford to win at +190. I just can't argue these Penske cars with Blaney, with Logano. They're going to be up at the front. And then here's an NBA future. NBA most improved, Denny Avdia. I was stunned that this is -120. Dan, he's kind of the only one on a team like trying hard for the rest of the season. They're in the play-in in the West. They're playing much better than I think people expected. And I'm looking at who's priced around him. Jalen Johnson, but the Hawks have been a disappointment. I'm not sure how good they're going to be. Keontae George, he's on the Utah Jazz. He's not going to play much. If he's playing well, they're going to take him out of the game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he plays on the same team as Jalen Johnson. So last year, Denny Avdia was played 30 minutes and scored 17 points per game. This year, 34 minutes, 25 points per game. He played on the Washington Wizards. They traded him, and the Portland Trailblazers got a smoking deal. I like Avdia at -120. NBA most improved. Yes, Michael, that is DraftKings on that golf play. So, shout out to Colin. He drops that he has a new baby coming. So, Colin, congratulations, brother. Get your sleep in while you can.
That's going to end rather quickly. And Andy, another person that we always have here in the chat, RJ, our man, RJ Arsenault, he's putting it down on the line for you guys, folks. He is going with shocker with his LSU icon. He's looking at a college basketball play or a college baseball play, excuse me. Line isn't out yet, but LSU is playing this week. Sunday's probably when the lines are going to come out. His play is taking that game over, and he says good up to 14 points. That's college baseball for you, folks. So here's how you can win a free 3-day flex pass. RJ, listener play here for you, or viewer play here for you. If his play hits, we're going to give away a free 3-day flex pass. How do you enter? All you got to do, comment below on this video. Any comment. Give us a kind comment. Give us a mean comment. Whatever you want to do, just drop your WagerTalk username alongside that. If your comment has a WagerTalk username with it, boom, you're entered in. Let's get the comments going on this Friday show. If LSU game goes over the 14 this weekend, one of you is winning a free 3-day flex pass. Good luck, RJ. Win it for the folks. We want to give some free shit away. Let's go. And hockey is coming. Roy Breed. As a matter of fact, we got the hockey expert right here, Carmine Bianco. A little Olympic action here for you, man. But I'm out. No hockey talk. Come back. Come back,
Cars. Come on.
Yeah.
Bring him back, Roy.
Bring him back,
We're here
baby.
for you, Roy. We're here for you.
Absolutely. Carm, great to talk to you, buddy. Let's get into it. Group play is still going on. This one is going today at 3 o'clock Eastern time, and that is the Swiss taking on your pride of Canada. And I'm wondering, how are you breaking this game down, Carm? What have we seen so far in group play for people who maybe haven't been betting these things? How are you looking to attack this game going this afternoon?
Group stage play has been, there's been some great games off to a good start for clients 5-1, but some of these lines, you see some of these lines and you're wondering whether they're football lines, whether they are basketball lines, because teams are favored by 3.5 and 4.5 goals. And it just shows you the disparity between some of these sides. But there are some games where the lines are 2.5 or 3.5, where the dogs do have a chance to cover. And I've been looking at like unders, which seem to have worked thus far. The USA game is a prime example. USA game the other day did a free play video, and I'm doing a bunch of free play videos. So head over to WagerTalk TV. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. But we had the exact score in the USA game, if you guys followed, 5-1, and it finished 5-1 against Latvia. This is one in which, you know, if you watched any of the Canada game, absolutely phenomenal from Canada. And I'm putting all bias aside here. From the opening puck drop, they were all over their opponents in that game. Finally broke through late in the first period and then just rolled them in the second and third periods. And this is one where essentially they set themselves up for a very easy final match, final game in the group, where they play France next. France currently losing right now 6-3 to Slovakia, as I'm watching it on my phone right now as we speak, or Czechia. But with that said, Canada's favored by 2.5 goals in this one, and this is what you have to look at. So the format of these, the format of this tournament is such that there's 3 groups of 4 teams. All 12 teams will make it into the playoffs, or the knockout stages, as we call them. But the top 4, which is the group winners, are seeded 1, 2, and 3, and then the second, the best second place team amongst those 3 groups is number 4. They get a first round bye. You want the number 1 seed, and mainly you want the number 1 seed because you have an easier path to the gold medal game, and you don't end up playing one of the powerhouses that won their group in the semifinals. So if Canada wins, if the seedings are Canada, US, and let's say Sweden, the US is going to have to play Sweden in the semifinals for a chance at a gold medal game. So this is where teams run up scores in these games, and this is a prime example. You look at Canada, they're favored by 2.5. The total sits here at 5.5. Now, it's such an interesting line because they don't expect the Swiss to score many goals in this one, and they're figuring maybe another 5-0 win for Canada. This is one of those ones where, and DK has this available under game parlays. You can take Canada to win and over 5.5 goals. The over 5.5 goals is like minus 148 right now, and that is the total. And the Canada is minus 2.5, minus 140. You are better off taking the game parlay of Canada win and over 5.5 total goals, and you get it at minus 115. It's all about minimizing the vig in this one. I think Canada, we're going to see another great game from this Canada team, and I think they roll this Swiss team today. And I've got a player prop for you as well, too, before we move on to the next game. Nathan McKinnon's plus 120 to score a goal today. I would take him. He scored in game one, and he talked about at the Four Nations where he scored 4 goals last year in the gold medal game against the USA. He took almost no shots on goal. He said, that's going to change this in these Olympics. I'm going to shoot at the net. I'm going to try and score and do something I didn't do at the Four Nations.
Wow, Carm, I love it. And you can take the soccer capper out of the pitch and send him to the ice, but you still, pairing a side with a total is true soccer betting form out of you, man.
Yeah.
I love to see it. And the player prop for the folks. Again, guys, that one's going in about 2 hours here. So run, don't walk to grab that one.
Yeah.
We do have a game going at 6 a.m. Go ahead, Carm.
Yeah, and then the thing is, it's not always take the favorite and take the over.
No,
prime example of that is the Germany-Denmark game the other day. I told people in the free play video, this is going to stay under 5.5 goals. I go, if you played it in a parlay, you're getting about plus 120. But if you take the game parlay of Germany win and under 5.5 goals is plus 140. It doesn't seem like much of a difference, but if you're cashing 140 tickets instead of plus 120 tickets, you're going to make money long term. That extra vig and extra plus money long term is good for your bankroll and your portfolio.
Carm, real quick before we turn our attention to the Slovakia taking on Sweden game. Great question here. Watching on X. Appreciate you, Robert Rodriguez. And wherever you're commenting, folks, we're looking to answer your questions if you're tuning in here live. Any thoughts in a case like this, Carm, where you would maybe just hit an alt line? I mean, we've seen these huge spreads. We've seen some of these teams win by margin. So instead of pairing 2 options together, would that be an option for folks to maybe just go alt line, take Canada, maybe win by margin?
Yeah, not a lot of books are, and this is the thing, is not a lot of books are offering the alt lines, but some of them do. I know that DK does kind of limit how far up you can go. FanDuel does offer it as well too. If you can get plus money, yes, but I would shy away from taking when something is lined at minus 2.5, minus 130 or minus 140, much like Canada is today. The 3.5, if you can get it at even money, I would look at that. I would not touch the 4.5, even if I think this is a game in which Canada scores 5 or 6 goals in this game and wins the game 5-1, 6-1. I wouldn't take the alt line in that one. I don't want to go up more than a goal, but 3 goals seems about right. This game could easily finish something like 5-1, gets you over the total, and the 4 goals gets you the cover. The other thing I want to mention is it is the tiebreakers that come into this. So if Canada wins every single game, the USA wins every single game in their groups. They finish on 9 points because you get 3 points for a win, 2 points for an OT loss or OT win, and 1 point for an OT loss. Here's the thing: is the first tiebreaker is goal differential. The second tiebreaker is total goals scored in this one. So it is something to, there's something to be said about the USA going out there and trying to roll the team. Canada going out there and trying to roll the Swiss today as well too. Accumulate those goals so heading into your final group stage game where you stand as far as the seedings go. Getting that number 1 seeding is the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, love it. And don't worry, Roy, you can breathe. We do have another hockey game coming your way. So I love that breakdown, though, Carm, letting us know how these tiebreakers kind of work. Because as this rolls on and you're having to look which team has to win by margin, you have to factor that in to your handicap here. Carmine Bianco, one of the best to do it on the ice. And don't worry, folks, after the Olympic break, puck time will be back. I know people are missing their hockey fix here. But, Carm, let's talk about this game that some people may be up for, some people may not. But maybe you want to get the bet in now. We're talking Slovakia taking on Sweden. And, Carm, as I mentioned, this one going at 6 a.m. Eastern. It's Group B play. How's Group B shaping up? How are you looking to bet this game, and how are you looking to move forward with this group?
Yeah, 6 a.m. Like, what else are you doing at 6 a.m. but getting up to watch Sweden and Slovakia? I can't think of anything more exciting to do. So some of you on the West Coast will still be up. It's only 3 a.m. over there. But
good point.
You know, you look at this game, and Andy, I think Andy's going to bust a gut over here in this
what we do.
What we do is what he does. But you look at this game, and this is another one. This is probably the most interesting group, which is Group B, because you have Finland on 6 points at the moment, on 3 points at the moment. Slovakia has 6, Sweden has 3. There is a scenario here where if Sweden beats Slovakia and Finland beats Italy, and they're favored by 4.5 goals in that one, all 3 teams are going to finish on 6 points. So what happens as far as the tiebreaker goes is there's a subgroup that is set up between these 3 teams. And in that subgroup, they look at the record head-to-head. They'll still be tied because they'll each have beaten one of the teams once and lost once. Then it goes to goal differential if they're still tied. Then it goes to goals scored. And then the final tiebreaker, if they're still tied after that, it is the best international ranking, which goes to Sweden. So with that said, Sweden's going to try and run up the score. They're favored by 2.5 goals in this one. But I've watched this Sweden team play. They weren't impressive against Italy. They definitely weren't impressive this morning in losing to Finland. Slovakia need to get this game into either win the game or get it into OT, pick up a point, and they win the group, get a first round bye. And I think they can do it. They're getting plus 2.5 goals here. And I like getting the plus 2.5 in this one because everything shapes up for them to absorb the pressure and take advantage of the mistakes that Sweden make in this game. And they've made mistakes in their opening 2 games. The Italians scored a couple goals before Sweden pulled away late, got an empty netter to sort of inflate that 5-2 scoreline. They lose to Finland today, 4-1 earlier this morning. This hasn't been the best performance by this Sweden team, and I'm not picking them to win by 3 goals in this game. So give me Slovakia plus 2.5 goals.
Barking dog alert from our man Carmine Bianco. All right, Carm, great. 4 different ways to attack some of these games. Parlaying together, obviously, like you mentioned in that first game. That's what you're giving the folks out for free. What do you have rocking over your page, wt.buzz/CB? Because, Carm, we still have, I know Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and folks, here's your reminder. If you didn't get your chocolate or your flowers, go get your damn chocolate or your flowers. Pay with it with some of these plays that we've been cashing here for you. But, Carm, folks can get 6 days of that access for what they pay for 3 days of all access. So they can ride with you into next week on some of these hockey plays. But what do you got over at your page now?
Yeah, and that's a great package because if you pick it up today, it's going to cover everything today right up until Wednesday as well, too. So that's the 6 days. Yeah, good math. Thank you. We're going to have hockey throughout. We're going to have international soccer, of course. A couple plays that are on the card today that are up at WagerTalk, wt.buzz/CB. Full cards on Saturday and Sunday, but already on Tuesday, the Champions League knockout stages start. I have a 5% play loaded for Tuesday, and I'll have full cards on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So you'll get that 5% play with this $69 package because you're going to get the next 6 days. So that's a great one because you're going to get action every single day. There won't be any days in which I pass just because I've already looked at the cards and I've already got my plays ready to go.
Love it, Carm. Always a pleasure, buddy. Great to see you. We'll be happy when puck time's back, but a little taste of it here on Friday. Good luck this weekend, Carm. Enjoy your Valentine's Day and whatnot that you got rocking, and we'll see you next time, brother. Thank you.
All right. Take care, boys. Thanks for having me.
That's Carmine Bianco, wt.buzz/CB. And Andy, no football, no problem. Still an hour of free plays rocking this entire show here for you and breakdowns on how you're going to be betting MLB. I mean, who says it's the slow season, Andy? Not here on Wager Talk Today. That's for damn sure.
Never. You know it's Olympic season when you hear phrases like, "What else are you going to do at 6 a.m. besides watch Sweden versus Slovakia?"
This is very
It's
true.
officially Olympic season. So I normally don't like to wear the same hoodie 2 weeks in a row,
USA.
but Indiana wins the national championship wearing it, and USA pulled another upset. Curling, the women's curling U.S. team upset Canada earlier today. So awesome stuff from that team. So, all right, it's going to do it for us. We got a jam-packed weekend, guys. Rugby starts in any minute. We got rugby plays that go tomorrow. We've got lacrosse plays that go tonight and tomorrow. We've got boxing that goes tomorrow. Absolutely jam-packed weekend. And again, you guys heard Teddy say it. Don't get just a play. Get a package over at the specials page. There's too many long-term and short-term specials that are just a lot more economic than just one play. So,
well, and Andy, if you're gonna get just a play, go to Sports Memo and try out the $7 play. If you're really gonna be the one who just plays for one play, that's the way to attack it. $7, and you can check that out, sportsmemo.com. So we don't suggest only going to play, but if you're ever gonna do it, the way to do it is at the low price point on $5 Tuesdays, $7. If you're going to invest, guys, do the more long-term stuff. We got great deals to save you some money there. And if you see a deal that you that maybe expired or a deal that you'd like to parlay in, always reach out to customer service. We're looking to make things happen for you guys. So great week of shows, folks. We appreciate you tuning in, Andy. Always a pleasure, man. I'll see you Monday, man.
Absolutely. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Be safe out there. Good luck on all your bets. We'll see everyone Monday. Take care.